Hi guys, and welcome back to Car Focus. Today in the background we've got not only a BMW M2 but my Focus RS. My friend Ian and I, he's the owner of the BMW, just had a little bit of a play, and we've also taken the time, or the opportunity should I say, to come and film this BMW. Before I bought my Mark II, when I sold my Mark III, I was looking for new cars, and a lot of the guys that follow me on Instagram, you probably know that I've got a massive soft spot for the M2. And I actually test drove one, a pre-LCI, a white one. It was manual, and very close to buying it. But in the end, I ended up with my Mark II RS, and I'm very happy with that. Anyway, so it's going to be quite an interesting video today because we're going to take this for a spin. This particular example is a 2018 LCI BMW M2 in Long Beach Blue. It's got about 370 horsepower, that's right, isn't it, Ian? 370 horsepower. Is behind the camera, by the way, you'll see him in a minute. A couple of little add-ons. It's got some different wing mirrors. Who are they made by?
Auto ID.
Auto ID wing mirrors, and it's got a carbon rear spoiler as well, and also some kidney grills from BMW to get rid of the chrome ones, so it looks, you know, a bit more blacked out at the front. I'll spin the camera and we'll have a quick walk around anyway. We'll have a look at both cars together, and then we'll hop in and go for a spin. Right, so here we go. BMW M2 LCI, very nice. So as it's an LCI, we get a couple of upgrades. At the front here we've got the different headlights, LEDs, are adaptive headlights as well, and you get the kind of half hex running lights there, which stand it apart from the original M2. And they're the grills that we were talking about. Just a nice touch, just gets rid of the chrome and just blacks it out nicely. I think these look really cool. When you're in front of one of these and you're looking at this in your rear view, it looks really menacing. Big flared arches as well, a bit like the Mark II, but these are obviously a lot smoother, and this car is very wide. And then the wing mirror caps, well, not caps, sorry, these are full-on wing mirrors. We had these replaced. They look a bit more like the competition mirrors. The standard mirrors on these were a little bit of a letdown. I think that's a nice touch that he's done there. Have a quick look inside. Obviously the original M2s, they didn't get the proper M seats, so we've just got the leather seats here. I think they're very similar to the ones that you get in the M140i. Might be wrong. And then we've got the slightly different dash there from the original M2, and then we've got the upgraded iDrive as well. And then moving around to the back, here's the spoiler we're talking about. It's genuine carbon. Ian, where's this from again?
Again, it's Auto ID. Auto
ID again. So yeah, it's a nice little touch there. Fitted that himself. And then I forgot to mention these bad boys here, because this has got a full, well, it's a catback system, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, catback Remus system with carbon tips. He sourced that second hand for a good price and fitted that himself. In fact, I think we'll stick in a sound clip of that now, because this sounds really cool with the N55 inline 6 single turbo. I think these actually sound better than the competitions, and I think quite a few people do as well. So yeah, these do take some stick for not being a proper M car. A lot of people say, yeah, it needs to be the competition. It's got the M135 engine, you know, it doesn't make it a proper M car, but it's still a very, very good looking car. It's got an M badge on it, so for me, that's good enough. I suppose it's all about how it drives, really. But there's the Mark II anyway. See them both together. Two completely different cars, but not too much in them, power-wise. He said when he gets into fourth gear he starts kind of reeling me in, but up to fourth they're quite similar. But yeah, should I have bought that instead of this, or was it the right decision buying this and not that? I think once this is paid for in the not too distant future, the M2 is always going to be a consideration as a second car to have as more of a daily driver. Right guys, inside the M2 now. Ian is kindly going to let me drive the car. We've got the
it's my dash cam just chatting away.
Dash cam likes to have a good chat, so just ignore that. Yeah, we're gonna have a quick drive. Ian's let me take the car out, obviously with him in it. I don't blame him. I wouldn't let myself out in this on my own. So we're gonna fire it up and see what it's like. Sounds nice, doesn't it?
Sounds so good.
Nice little couple of pops there. I don't think we should. Do you think we should bother driving in comfort?
Give it a shot. It's a really different feel in the car.
So obviously compared to my car, the seat, you do sit quite a bit lower in this. I find that with all BMWs, it's got quite
I think you might be in the lowest setting as well on that seat.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But it feels quite small in it, doesn't it? Like, it's
not a big car. It's just a 1 Series at the end of the day with less boot.
It's nice and compact, isn't it? Everything's just really close by, and I don't know, you just feel like quite nicely sort of tucked in, so to speak. But yeah. How do you find the car to drive day to day in, you know, normal circumstances on the road?
It's hard to drive slow. It wants you to drive it quickly everywhere. As long as you leave it in comfort, it's okay. But as soon as you go into sport and then start playing with the paddles, you know, you just
get a bit addictive.
Yeah.
Especially when you obviously got this Remus exhaust, so you just want to kind of hear it, don't you?
Yeah, it's loud.
It's got the windows down as well, so you will be able to hear this thing in a second when we properly get going. You can definitely hear the exhaust though when you're cruising around.
Especially as you go up to sort of 70, it's a bit drony, but you get used to it.
So we're in a 30 now, in comfort. So if we flick it into sport,
yeah, double click it up to go to Sport Plus.
Sport Plus.
Because
okay.
I've saved Sport as my own setting, which is just heavy steering but still light on the throttle.
So Sport Plus, it takes the traction control off, doesn't it?
It softens it, so it will still help you if you end up going sideways, but it's not as interfering.
And you can fully disable it manually, I guess, if you want.
So you just hold it off and it will just light up the rear tyres as soon as you want. But it drops down to another gear. The gear changes are a lot more violent.
I suppose it's just trying to chuck you down the road, isn't it? Like, as quick as it can.
I think it puts in that like a bit of extra drama in it, just to make it feel like you're driving something a bit special, rather than having a car which is lovely and smooth and you don't really know you're going that fast.
Yeah.
Like you do, say in my old 435D, you never knew you were going fast. You know, with the 8-speed ZF box.
Big boat, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But if you put your foot down all the way through to the button on the bottom as we go through the speed limit, and it'll drop down.
Oh, right. That's take off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It moving the GoPro.
I'll tighten that one up for you.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Technical error.
I tell you what though, it's literally instant, isn't it? There's no, it doesn't even think about it, does it? It literally
does
goes.
if you're in 7th, then it has a few seconds. But if you pull the right paddle up until you get into 7th, or it may only let you go into 6th at this speed.
Yeah. So should I boot
and then if I say floor it now.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I suppose you need to be in the right gear, but
yeah.
I mean, there's no lag or anything though, is there? It's literally just on the button.
Yeah,
off it goes.
100%.
So if we want to go into manual mode, do I have to flick this across?
Do it like that. Or you could just put the paddle anyone you want and it will stick it into manual. You'll see it goes from D3 to 3.
Okay. Let's have a little A45. Oh yeah, you feel the shove, can't you, when on the gear change?
And you know it doesn't need to have that, but I love the feeling it gives you.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It could be smoother, but it's kind of a nice sensation that you're just really pushing on, aren't you, through the gears.
It reminds you you're in a fast car.
Yeah.
Well, semi-fast. I mean, it's not like the new 845 or the new M3s and stuff like that, but it's still a quick car.
Yeah, that gear change is really weird.
Yeah. But it feels involving still, even though you're in an automatic. And you haven't got a clutch or a gear stick or anything like that. It still feels like you're doing something with the car.
Do you think can it unsettle the car slightly if you're changing gear sort of through a long sweeping?
In the wet, if you're changing gear around the corner while going fast, yeah.
It's quite a big shift, isn't it?
It will certainly. You'll feel it wiggle.
So I'm going to slow down a bit here because there's a couple of S-bends and I want to try them out, but there's 2 vans doing like 20 miles an hour. So you're going to hold on tight, mate. We'll be alright, we won't crash. So we're in 3rd gear, popping into 2nd gear in manual mode. I don't want to light the car up too much mid-corner, but wow. Yeah, see that, what I was talking about then, we were still turning as I upshifted, and you could feel the rear kind of kick out a little bit as you get that. But yeah, it's just a nice constant power band, isn't it?
It will pull from very low RPM. So it'll pull from You know, 1500 RPM, not great, and then about 2500 it comes on boost and it really starts to pull quite hard.
So we're at 1500 RPM now, fourth gear, so if I accelerate in manual, a bit of lag, and then yeah, there it goes. But
when do you ever pull from 1500 RPM when you're in a hurry?
Yeah, you don't, do you?
No. I've never
Lovely,
lost them. Yeah, it
lovely.
pops badly, doesn't it? It's
Really
great.
nice burbles. I hope you can hear this, guys. Oh, it blips as well, rev matches as well, does it?
Yeah. So in Sport Plus,
Jesus! You feel the back go there?
Yeah.
Sorry, I know you were talking then.
that's all right. In Sport Plus, you get all the pops and bangs and all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
In Comfort, you don't get any of that. It's just nice and quiet, really.
See, I've never really. I mean, the only reasonably powerful rear-wheel drive car I've driven is a Caterham.
Yeah.
That was a 310R, I think it was. So yeah, I've never driven a mainstream road car that's high-powered rear-wheel drive up until now. So it's all right. I feel like I've got control of it. But
Yeah. It's not crazy powerful. It's 370-ish horsepower.
Do you mind if I go into first again?
Try launch control.
Yeah. Okay. How do I do
go for
that?
it. So just foot hard on the. Oh no, hands.
So left foot on the brake.
I've got to turn off the traction control. There you go. So left foot on the brake.
Yep.
Floor the right.
And go.
Yeah, and it will change gear for you.
Oh mate, that's fun. That's fun.
There you go. It's back in Sport Plus again for you.
A little bit of spin
spin.
in first, but it really does get off and go in second, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, having the PS4Ss has changed the car entirely.
Oh mate, this is lovely to drive. Yeah, you can feel the rear just twitching slightly, but you don't feel out of control, do you?
No. And I reckon I've never really taken it beyond its limits because I've only ever taken it on roads, never on the track. But I reckon it would be pretty controllable in like when you start going sideways. I don't think it's going to bite you. Not as much as say the M4. Apparently that's a lot nicer to slide because it's a lot longer.
Yeah, short wheelbase, I suppose,
This is
isn't it?
still a really short car. And it's very wide. It's only 10 centimetres narrower than a Range Rover.
Is it really?
Small fact.
But it's just a nice car to drive. It's comfortable. I mean, it's not. I know that it doesn't have adaptable suspension, but the suspension is livable, isn't it? In all scenarios.
These roads aren't bad, and where I live, the roads are pretty immaculate actually for the UK.
We're gonna enter third again. We'll put it into this corner. Yeah, it just throws you down the road. I love it.
You can drive everywhere in third gear. It's an amazing.
You can feel the more you drive it, the more you can feel there is scope for a bit of extra power, isn't there?
100%.
No, it just feels like a nice, well put together car. Yeah, well that's it, mate. Just a quick spin, but no, I've enjoyed it. I've only driven a manual one of these, obviously, as I said before. I do like an automatic gearbox. Initially, before I'd really experienced them, I was a bit apprehensive because I like the full control of a manual.
Yeah.
But I think if you really want to concentrate
I do
on
miss
getting down the road quickly,
Yeah.
the paddles are the way forward, aren't they? Would I want one? Probably, yeah. Would I be selling my RS now to go and buy one? Probably not. But as I say, when that's paid off and I'm looking for something new, yeah.
I think the competition's a better car. It's faster. It's got a better engine, but
You pay the extra for it.
you're paying a lot extra for it. You've got the awful looking back box on it. It sounds rubbish because of the petrol particulate filter.
Yeah, the GPF or whatever you want to call it.
I think for what the difference in price, because I nearly got the competition. I don't miss 30 more horsepower.
I think these look better as well. I prefer the wheels on these.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the comp does drive better, but it sounds worse. It doesn't look quite as nice. And if you're on more of a limited budget, you don't want to push it that bit further. I think this is a brilliant compromise, really. I mean, let's face it, on the roads, you're not really going to gain much of that extra performance, are you? Getting down a twisty road
The difference
in the
between
UK.
370 and 400 horsepower is it's not a lot.
It's only so fast we can go before we lose a licence, and I think this is plenty quick enough for British roads. But yeah, anyway, enough. Yeah, so we're going to have to go. We're going to have to cut the video off now. But thanks for bringing the car down, mate.
You're more than welcome.
Appreciate it. I've enjoyed it. And that's it, guys. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Let us know what you think of the M2 in the comments box below. And until the next one, as always, take care, and I shall see you soon.